And yes, we are back for another interior cleaning on a Honda Pilot with also an engine cleaning, which I actually forgot midway of the detail, I believe. I charged the customer, if I remember correctly, but I'm probably wrong, $260 for both the interior cleaning and the engine cleaning. And it took us like 4.5, 5 hours, I think. You'll see in a bit in the video. So one thing that you do need to keep in mind if you're doing this for customers is that if you're gonna budget, let's say 8 to 12 for a detail, right? Whatever that detail is, you might start right at 8, right? A customer, you might get there, the customer gives you the keys, you talk for like 2 minutes, and then they go inside, right? That's what primarily happens with my customers. Like they hand me over the keys, they let me get to work. There'll be other customers that just want to talk, they like to talk, so maybe like they want to talk from like 8 to 8:10 and then they start working. Or there'll be the other customers that they talk for a little bit, they go inside, and then they come back outside just because they're interested in the process, how you clean, just your knowledge, your skill set, and they'll just want to chat, which is fine, but that's just something you have to account for the detail. It might be just a 4-hour detail, but if they want to chat, that can easily turn into a 4.5, 5.5 hour detail, just because you need to, also, engage with the customer and just, chit chat. So keep that in mind while you're detailing. You'll see that happened here in this video, which is why I couldn't really document everything as thoroughly as I wanted to, just because we were running long on time due to starting late. But other than that, if you want to know the tools and products that we use, check the description box down below for that link. And also, if you want to start your own detailing business, check this guide on the 9 services that you can offer in your detailing business. It has a bunch of information. Check that in the description box down below. And let's get into this detailing. All right, and we're here on site for this Honda Pilot. It's gonna be the first time I see it with you guys as I'm walking by. Yes, it is published, but we're still seeing this for the first time. So this compartment here, he did say he moved everything out of the interior. So, bada bing, bada boom. A little bit of dirt, a little bit of sand, no biggie here. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove these. Remove the floor mats, and there's actually only 2 floor mats here in the vehicle. The rest of the seatings, or the rest of the vehicle, there's no floor mats. There's just none. There's just none to be there. So this is the seat. Let's see the condition. Okay, so it's actually not, well, this part is actually pretty bad. You can tell it's been a little bit of time since it's been cleaned. Let's pull this down, bada bing, bada boom. Push this back up. There's quite a bit of dust here on the dashboard, which is surprising. I think they go adventuring a lot. There you go. Oh, score, bunch of leaves, fun. Let's see what we got here. Easy. On here on the door panel, here on this part you can't tell because of the ISO, but here there's actually a big buildup of dirt and such. Specifically right here. I don't know if you guys can tell on the video. Yeah, you can, I think. Go back inside. Inspect the door panel again. So here there's a lot of gunk built up here. So overall it is pretty dirty. I mean, it's going to be a huge difference. A bunch of sand. They go to the beach a lot, hiking perhaps, kayaking, biking, mountain climbing. So the seats themselves also have a bunch of stainage, or stains. That's even worse, stainage. Right there. Overall, it's great. It's beige, but you can there's a layer of filth on them for sure, and specifically counting these stains and such. But they're definitely the specific. There's a layer of dirt, and here again, there's no floor mats here. They don't carry floor mats, so just vacuuming and any touch-up spots on the carpeting. And always remember to fold everything back and forth and push everything forward and backwards as needed to really inspect everything. Because you don't want to clean everything and then you at the very end you realize that this seat actually scoots up forward, and then you're like, oh snap, we forgot to clean all that. So always make sure you're moving everything back and forth, you're dropping everything, so you really see the true condition of everything and you don't have any surprises towards the end when you think you're wrapping it up, and then you're like, oh snap, no, we forgot this and that. So there's a lot of dust and dirt here, you can hear it. The back rows usually aren't that dirty, but this one specifically has a few stains here, and just overall does need a touch up because they actually use their car for stuff that they do. That gets dirty. So there's that. So this is super dirty. Look at that. You can just tell it's really, really, really dirty. Let's see if it's consistent throughout the entire vehicle. And for the most part, it is. Let's see if you can catch this. There you go. Door panel. Look at this gunk right here. Beautiful. More dust and dirt, sand. You can tell they have plenty of fun. More dust and dirt right here. And it's just like a huge buildup. Nice score. So it'll be a fun detail. So now I'm gonna spray my super clean diluted 10-to-1 in a pump sprayer and agitate with what's supposed to be a tire brush, but it works great on the rubber floor mats. Because it's not that hot outside at this moment, I can go through those two floor mats, agitate them, and then go and rinse them down. I wanted to keep this part of the video in the video just because I want to show you guys that when I'm on the job site, things don't always go as planned, as mostly this hose was super kinked up. So it took me, let's say 30 seconds, 45 seconds to get it unwind. But that's just one of the things you're going to run into. Now I carry my own water hose, not water tank or pressure washer, just water hose, so I can avoid this. But it's just one of those things where, look, I don't carry my own water hose, I don't have my own water supply. They have it there. Not the best option, but you can still make it work. And then I'm gonna put them the rest here on the door, because that way, like I said in the other video, they can drip down. So I'm gonna take use of both those doors to have them drip down all the water until the sun's hitting it more. So as I was agitating the floor mats, Anthony was vacuuming the entire interior, getting around 60 to 80% of the debris out, not going for perfection, as we'll vacuum again at the end of the detail. That way, now I'm gonna start spraying the APC onto the seats and agitate with the upholstery brush while he's working on the door panel just to keep on being productive. Once I'm done with the top portion of the seats, Anthony will start extracting the top half while I start to agitate the bottom part of the seat, and we'll replicate this process for the entire vehicle and all the 3 rows in the car. It may seem like I'm putting too much product into the seat, but the way the material is, you have to spray a good enough amount of product onto the fabric in order to get a thorough cleaning out of it. If you barely miss the product onto the fabric, you're not going to get as good as a cleaning as if you're able to actually completely saturate the area. However, with that being said, just because I am spraying a lot of cleaner onto the fabric doesn't mean I'm completely soaking it. The cleaner is still staying on the top layer of the fabric in the seat. It's not actually going down to the cushion and penetrating there. If that were to happen, you'll run into a lot more problems. So yes, I'm spraying a lot, but it's still on the top layer surface, and by the time we're done with the vehicle, the interior is at least 80 to 90% dry. It is a bit tricky to extract the seats because you are limited on space. So as you are pulling the extractor, you're either hitting the ceiling or you're coming to an angle where you can't keep the nozzle as straight or at the angle that you want. So it is a bit about just kind of adjusting your body, your arms, and the extractor to fit the area where you actually want to extract. And this is why I always wear jeans or pants when I go out to work. If I'm just wearing shorts and my legs are exposed, I'm pretty much going to get sweat all over the interior as we work. So that means as we extract some of the seats and they're clean, as we move around, our legs are going to be touching the seats and just putting sweat on there. Yes, our jeans still get dirty. Some sweat still goes through. As you can see there, his jeans are still a bit dirty because he's been putting his knees on the ground. But it's still a better situation with wearing jeans than it is to have your skin exposed and your legs touching all over the interior. So that's why we're always wearing pants, jeans on the job. As Anthony continued to extract, I figured I'd come to the backside and use multiple brushes to loosen up all that stuck on debris on this tightly knit fabric in the hatch area, because it will take a bit longer because of the fabric when it comes to vacuuming at the end of the detail. Okay, so you know how you come into a car with a plan of some sort of like, this is what we're gonna do, yada yada yada. As soon as we got here, that was thrown out the window. We got here like at 11:25, scheduled for 11:30, where the customer was on his way back. No biggie. But then, you know, as I said, you have to include like the talking time and then the setup time. But in my situation, it's the camera setup and trying to get all the shots before we get started. So we got here 11:25. We didn't start actually until like 11:45. So I actually didn't capture much on footage, as you can tell, just because once we started moving, we started moving. So we're finishing up all 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're finishing the 3 rows right now. Anthony's extracting it and he's gonna wipe them down. We did that. We have 3 door panels done and we vacuumed it all in 40 minutes. So it's 12:40 right now. We got here at 11:30, 11:25, but we didn't start till 11:40. So in an hour-ish, we got all the seats done, extraction-wise, mopped them down to get the excess water out, and then finished 3 door panels, and then we're gonna continue. So I didn't capture much just because I was trying to rush out of here. I was trying to get it done. My goal is to get this car done in 2 hours, but then I forgot we have to do the engine cleaning. I still think we get it done in 2 hours, so we'll see. I get asked all the time that, hey, I just want to go to the store and buy a few items, not spend that much money, and give my interior a thorough cleaning. What can I buy without spending that much money? Well, in this video, cleaning a very dirty area of the vehicle, which is the dashboard and the center console, I'm only using two brushes, microfiber towels, and super clean, which you can buy locally. You can get all of that with under $50. So it's not a big investment that you have to make in order to really give your interior a deep cleaning. These two brushes can handle almost everything in the interior aside from the seats. So if you are looking to do this on your own, just a weekend that you want to take at a time to clean your car, you only need to spend around $50 ish to get the right tools, which isn't that many, locally, spend a few hours, and get your car looking a lot better. You'll see that this part of the vehicle is always going to be the dirtiest because that's where everyone, or at least the driver and the passenger, puts their arms to rest while they're driving. Especially if you're like this customer that you travel a lot, you sweat a lot, you do a lot of things, you're going to transfer a lot of that gunk onto this armrest most of the time, which you see here, it's pretty gross. In situations like these, if I would bring my McCulloch 1385 steamer, I'd be able to get this part done a lot quicker. Now the reason I don't simply comes to the fact that I don't have enough room in my van to carry all that equipment. I could fit it in there if I really tighten things up and I just, squeezed as much things as I could in the vehicle. But I don't want to deal with that headache, and doing it this method still isn't that much longer. It is a bit longer because it's more manual work, but I'm still getting great results. So yes, you could most definitely use a steamer in this situation. If you have one, great. As you can see, I'm only using brushes. But for my specific situation, just because I don't want to have the headache of just cramming everything in my van and then it being a headache to pack up and then unload, I just don't take it. And just a quick tip before we go to the engine cleaning is that do not spray the cleaner into or onto the instrument cluster, as the cleaner can seep through the plastic and it'll be on the back side of the plastic, and then it's just going to be there looking ugly for years to come. So always spray into the towel, not directly onto the instrument cluster. And we're jumping over to the after of the cleaning of the engine bay. I didn't get anything as we were cleaning, but this is before I apply the hyper dressing to the plastic areas in the engine bay. So it's clean and naked, as in it doesn't have any dressing on it. And here we are with the engine bay being dressed with Meguiar's Hyper Dressing diluted at 4:1. We just spray it across the engine bay and then wipe it down with towels and brushes to get into the real detailed areas. And the interior is mostly done. We still have to do a few more touch-ups, but I always record before we do that just so I can put the camera up. At this point, the interior is 90% dry, and the customer was completely happy with the results, as he didn't think it'd get back to this condition. So for the next few shots, you'll just see the afters. Now on this seat, we got the actual crust that was stuck into the fabric out, but not that stain. So either we could have done a different method that we just don't know, or that just kind of bleached itself into the fabric. And that wraps up the video. It's usually not as good looking on camera as it is in person, especially on the lighting, on how it's capturing. Yes, I can change the ISO and the aperture on this on the camera settings, but one, not the greatest camera, and then two, when you're in person, it just looks so much better because of the lighting and all that. But anyhow, that concludes this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you just want to hate, leave that in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video.